I'm getting second thoughts because my first thought wasn't what I first thought.
I went from strict to stricto, strict. Understand? Only person I owe is myself. Stricto.
Yes, people. Welcome back to the channel. Big Stricto here. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, whatever it is that these other YouTubers tell you to do, but do it for me. For those of you that are new to the channel, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. 5 seconds countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hit that subscribe button. Where do I start? So listen, I'm gonna get straight to it. I'm getting second thoughts because my first thought wasn't what I first thought. After watching Villa and watching Dortmund with their incredible, glorious defeat, it's got me thinking, it's got me nervous, it's got me moving out of my position. And my position, like you lot know, I said, listen, that game was over against Real Madrid. Those 3 goals should be enough, should suffice to help us qualify to the next round of, well, to the semi-finals. Well, now watching that and watching how PSG and Barcelona respectfully have dealt and handled those games, it's got me, whoa, I'm not gonna lie. So when I say I'm getting second thoughts because my first thought wasn't what I first thought, I'm not joking. Villa, I mean, they were great tonight, man. I mean, yeah, last night, whenever this comes out, they were great. They almost won that. They almost came back, should I say. Bar Ezra Konza with his small head or whatever it was, maybe he needed a bigger head to get to that. I think PSG were in trouble. Like, we saw them defensively at 6s and 7s, not looking like a team that are favourites, but they got the job done. They managed to control Villa's insurgency. They managed to control the crowd towards the end. The crowd were getting frustrated. And Unai Emery, what was he doing? Taking off Marcus Rashford. Like, their main attacking threat, the man that was making things happen, the man that was keeping the intensity, the man that was keeping his neck on the PSG defense and the PSG's back line. I don't know what he was doing, taking him off. But PSG managed to get through that storm. But we saw some frailties there with PSG for sure. They went 2-0 up and just changed their mentality and started cruising. And listen, the Champions League, like, they would know. They're the team, if I remember, like, what year was it? Is it 09, 010? 4-0 up against Barca, went back to the new camp and absolutely fucked it up. So they would know. You can't take these things for granted. It doesn't matter what team it is, whether they feel Villa don't have the pedigree to compete with them. I don't know. But listen, that game, if the Arsenal boys are watching that game, and if the Madrid boys are watching that game, they both would have watched that and come out with 2 separate conclusions. And I imagine Madrid will probably take some confidence from that and knowing that it can happen. And I'm hoping the Arsenal boys watching that would have taken something from that, knowing what could happen. So how do you manage the game? You know, now I said to you, look, listen, I'm confident the tie is over. I really am. But I still feel this disgusting feeling in the pit of my stomach. Like, Stricto, what if? What if? I couldn't even imagine it, if I'm being honest with you lot. I know it's football and I know it's Madrid. You know, they're the final bosses of this competition. And I know all the expectations is on them. But that is where I hang my hat. The expectation. I hang my hat on that. The expectation is on them and not on us. Even as we are 3-0 up, they are still expected to win or to qualify from this position. I told you lot before, I can write a book of Arsenal and expectations. When we are expected to pull something, we often don't do it. And currently sitting under the underdog umbrella, even at 3-0 up, we're still sitting under the underdog umbrella. And I don't mind that, because this isn't about ego. This isn't about, who the bigger, we know who the bigger club is. We know who the most successful club is. So this cannot be about ego. This is about getting the job done. It's about managing the game minute by minute. It's about keeping it tight. It's about taking your chances when it comes. It's about not getting caught up in the moment, not getting caught up by the crowd, not doing silly things, not receiving silly yellows, not anything that will give them an advantage. You all remember that game against Liverpool at Anfield when Xhaka riled up the Liverpool fans and it just got on top from there. Bernabeu is a way bigger cauldron than Anfield. We can't afford to give the crowd something to chew on. We just cannot. However, the flip side is we can use that. We can use their crowd against them because their crowd are very impatient. If we score first, the crowd will turn, get possession, control this tempo. We don't need to go gun-ho like what PSG was doing today. I can't believe what PSG was doing. You're flipping 2-0 up and you're still trying to get more goals. Control the game, and when your chances come, you take them. Like Villa, I said this before. I said what's going to happen is when a team is chasing the game, they will exchange possession and control for space. PSG had so much space. You could see it. Every time Villa went up the field, PSG could have scored way more goals, but they were not taking the right, they weren't making the right decisions in the final third, and plus just going, almost having a basketball match with Villa. That suits Villa. That's what Villa want. They want you to leave the spaces and hopefully they capitalize. We cannot afford to do that. We can do that for some sections, for some periods of the game, but we can't afford to do that or try to do that for 90 minutes. And I hope we would have taken something from that Villa, from that PSG defense. So the team with the advantage, we have to manage. Real Madrid are no mugs. We know this. They're no mugs. But we have to be equally on their ground and not be mugs either. So you lot have pressured me, man. I've been confident, but you lot are trying to get me to lose my confidence, because you're scared of what might possibly happen. Madrid turning it round. What about the other way around? How many possibilities are there? Is it just one possibility here that Madrid are going to spank us 4-0? Is that the only possibility in this game? In this tie? You all had the same possibility last week. And how did that end up? I still believe there will be a shock and things aren't going to go the way people think it's going to. I said it. Check my last video in the stands. Look what I said. I said there's going to be a shock. A lot of people are going to be disappointed. And I don't mean Arsenal fans. Listen, but I'm not going to lie that those two games, Barcelona, Dortmund and PSG and Villa, that did sort of put something in my mind. However, I have to remind myself, not the same game, not the same teams, not the same ambition, not the same plans. Simple as that. That's what I've got to remind myself. We don't have anything else this season other than the Champions League. And I think players like Martinelli, players like Odegaard need to step up in this game big time. Martinelli, he's going to be the pin. Yeah, so imagine a pin, balloon, or if you've got a boil, you need a pin to release the pressure. That's Martinelli. He's going to be one of our key players, our outlet, our output. Everything will be put on him. Of course, Saka as well, but more so Martinelli because Saka's expected. But Martinelli, Saka, if them two can be causing havoc, then we've got more than a chance. A 3-0 lead. Just think about it this way. This is the mentality I'm going in with, yeah? If we were 2-0 up, if we would have won 2-0 at Emirates last week, we would be like, you know what? If we got that third goal, we might be a bit more safer. Just the third goal would have secured us. But think about it. We've got the third goal. So we're not 2-0 up. We're actually 3-0. We've got the third goal. You lot are trying to drag me into this fear. You're trying to drag me into the fear, but I'm not having it. I'm not having it. I'm still going that Arsenal going through. I'm still with Arsenal going through. I feel something special is about to happen. I don't know what. I don't even know when, but I can just feel it. Should we book our ticket for Germany? Should we?